Baruch here with genConnect and Dr. David Muller from Mount Sinai. So Dr. Muller, you're focusing on education at Mount Sinai. How has medical education evolved really over the last 100 years?
So it's a great question. Medical education in medical schools has evolved very rapidly because of the changes in science, changes in technology, changes in society, and the kinds of things that patients and communities need and want. But what's interesting is that the education that prepares people for medical school hasn't changed in 100 years.
Pre-med.
Pre-med. So pre-med about 110 years ago first required organic chemistry, physics, calculus, biology, chemistry. That was when those prerequisites were first put in place. And literally for 100 years following that, they never changed, not an iota. And so today those are the same requirements that we expect of people who want to go to medical school, despite the fact that today most people will tell you organic chemistry and physics and calculus have nothing to do with clinical practice, have nothing to do with biomedical research.
Now you mentioned technology. Should I be afraid of seeing an older doctor because he may not have been trained in the latest technology?
So ideally, when you train a physician, you train them to be what we call a lifelong learner. So they learn what they learn in medical school, but they also learn the skills to absorb and integrate what's happening over the course of time into their clinical practice. That's ideal. The problem is, and again I go back to the pre-med process, because it's so regimented and everyone has to kind of march lockstep through the process, students don't really get to learn how to learn. Instead they're learning how to study to get an A in organic chemistry or to take the MCAT.
Now, as a patient, when I'm looking at my doctor's background, are there certain key indicators I should be looking for in his or her resume that would indicate a really good education?
So that's a very tough call. If I had to give you an answer in one word, it would be no.
Okay.
Because there are phenomenal doctors who are produced by all kinds of schools across the spectrum, from community colleges to state schools to private schools, and the same is true for medical school. The school itself is not going to give you a great indication. Some people will say that a doctor whose educational background is in the humanities, an English major or a philosophy major, is going to be more well-rounded and maybe a better communicator. A lot of people believe that, but there really is no strong and fast evidence. I think that people who make a thoughtful judgment about their doctor's qualifications make it not based on what's on the wall, but based on the eye contact, the body language. In that first visit with a doctor for the very first time, you typically will know almost right away that this person connects with you, cares about you, and will take very good care of you.
Dr. Muller, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
And for more with Dr. Muller and Mount Sinai, be sure to check out genConnect.